Okay, let's see what we can come up with here now. I wrote this down this morning. It says make a video of the rock of Gibraltar. And I crossed out Gibraltar and put Jesus. Jesus is the source. All physical evidence points to Jesus. All physical evidence is from Jesus. Abraham knew about Jesus before the scriptures. I underlined before. Abraham knew about Jesus before the scriptures. The writings came 430 years later. That's what it says in Galatians. Before the earth was, there was Jesus. Before the sky and planets and stars, Jesus. In the dateless past, Jesus. There was Jesus. Jesus was eternal with the Father and was manifested to us in 1 John 1:2. Apart from him, nothing came into being. John 1:2, the Gospel of John. So, without a Bible, Jesus would still talk to you and me and tell you the truth. Which, if you wanted to, you could write it down and publish it in a book form. It's all if you want to put Jesus first. Or do you want to have some of it your way? In other words, all the universe, everything that we know, everything we think about, all that we can even dream about, if you put Jesus first and realize that he's the beginning and the end of all physical evidence, then everything would make sense. Everything would fall in place, no matter what your endeavor, no matter what your ambition, no matter what your thoughts, no matter what path you take, if you put Jesus first. If you want to have some of it your way, then you're going to mix it. You're going to mix up some of your thoughts with God's thoughts. You're going to, instead of putting Jesus first, you put yourself first, and pretty soon you're sitting on a fence. And then pretty soon you're going your own way, and then things get confusing. You get depressed, you have to have some pills or some alcohol, or you wind up committing suicide, whatever you want to do, because you didn't put Jesus first. Put Jesus first, and then everything else, all happiness and joy and peace and all the good things will come after that. Now, so I'm going to make a drawing. Get my pencil here. And this is how it's going to look while I talk about something that is very important, and that's Jesus. Okay. I heard somebody saying, talking about prophecy, modern day prophecy, that the earth is going to fall off into the ocean, which may or may not be true. About 2 or 3 years ago, a man said that there were a whole bunch of dolphins, about 5,000 of them, swimming nearby San Diego. And so that means they were alerted to something. They were actually trying to alert the people on the earth that there was going to be an earthquake. This was in February 2015 or 14. And the earthquake never happened near San Diego. And so the man wound up, he's a part of that NAR group, New Apostolic Reformation. He was prophesying that the dolphins were telling about a cataclysmic event that was about to occur, and it didn't happen. So these prophets that do that, they say that they're 80% correct. No, they're wrong 80% of the time. You gotta remember, I'm drawing and talking at the same time. These things ought not be, my brethren, that people should even prophesy and get it right 20% of the time. There's something wrong with that. And my way of getting around that to where I don't get confused about whether to believe this modern day prophet or that modern day prophet. The way I found out how to get around it is just don't believe any of them. Now, don't get me wrong, I believe in prophecy in the church, and I believe the gifts of prophecy are still in effect, like in 1 Corinthians chapter 14, how it talks that we can all prophesy and we can all talk about our revelations and sing our psalms and all of these things. We can do all of these things one by one so that the church can be edified. But all the prophecy has to be in keeping with the scriptures, and that way you won't be wrong 80% of the time. Let me give you an example. One time a man prophesied over me and says, "Thus saith the Lord, you are my apostle." That's